would y'all do if y'all was, chilling out, dining at a restaurant, and somebody had came up to y'all and told y'all, go back to your country?
Like Glock 19. My Glock 19 comes out.
That's what I'm talking
I'd be
about.
like, say that again?
Huh?
Alton will be like, "What are you talking to?"
I'm sorry. I need to go back to my country. You
Alton will be like, "Yeah,
you good here, China man. You good here. I need to go back to my country."
Back to Europe.
Yeah, back to Europe.
And
go back to Ireland.
And thank you for the railroad. I love your walls.
Your walls.
I don't. What's the story? What happened?
Huh? Oh no! I want to hear what you and Dalton would say too.
I would be like, what if I would think that person something's wrong with that person?
I mean,
like I would be like,
apparently something's wrong with a lot of people nowadays.
That's fine. Yo, Tree got an attitude. You saw that? He was like, yo, apparently.
He got sassy.
Yeah, he was like his
That Bacardi.
Apparently. Fucking.
I mean, on a serious note, in my case, if someone told me that, I'd give them attitude. My gun's not coming out unless they're going to be a complete threat to me, which, unfortunately, COVID has shown that how racist people can really be, especially since I heard about that stabbing of the Vietnamese dad and his two kids at a Sam's Club in Houston.
Yeah, that actually happened at a Sam's Club a couple miles away from me.
Yeah.
Man, really?
Because of that happening, that's why I started concealed carrying.
I mean, we've had there's been videos of old Chinese men getting robbed in public in the middle of the street. Ain't nobody done a damn thing, and we had
and they just laughed too.
Yeah,
some of them.
like JK reported on a grandma being lit on fire in public.
Damn.
And nobody did a damn thing.
Fortunately, she's okay though.
Yeah.
Shit.
And fucking an old lady getting kicked in the face on a train. Nobody did a damn thing. But I'll get into that later.
Oh yeah, we'll be getting into that later.
Yeah, but
I'll be talking about depressing shit on your podcast. Huh?
Hey, the news is depressing. We live in a fucked up world.
My last week we talked about a bear climbing on a roller coaster. That wasn't fucking depressing. Fucking this week on TBG, grandma gets lit on fire and kicked in the face.
No, that was on JK last week. Grandma got lit on fire JK last week. We talking about another grandma this week.
Another grandma, word.
Yeah.
This time she wasn't lit.
Yeah. But Dalton, what would you do if somebody came up to you and told you need to go back to your country?
How would it work?
You see this? Nah, yeah, what Ben said, huh? Who are you talking to?
Fuck that boy over that game. All right. So thank you to Jimmy Doe JDL Production for submitting this article. So this influencer, her name is Sophia Chang. She got about 50,000 followers. She was sitting at this Blue Water Grill restaurant over in Cali, and this one white dude. I'm not being racist. He was actually a white dude. He came over.
You can be racist to white people. That's okay.
Okay on this podcast.
No offense, though. I'm talking about this particular white dude.
Oh, that's good, bro.
And he came up to them and he said, "Y'all need to go back to Wuhan." She's from Korea.
Wuhan is where COVID
originated.
Was originated.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to that person. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of racist people know that. So the fact that he was like, "Yeah, go back to Wuhan," I was like, if someone said that to me, I would be like, "Good for you." You're educated.
Trump did call it the China virus. Trump did call it the Wuhan virus.
Man, fucking calling it China virus was so annoying.
He did call it the Kung Flu.
Yo, can I say something? Can I do an unpopular opinion about something?
Oh yeah.
And I've had a discussion with someone else, and they kind of put me in my place.
Uh-huh.
So I'm prepared for you guys to put me in my place.
All right.
But I didn't. When I first heard Trump say China virus in the context what he was saying, I did not think that would be offensive. Because it was at that time. Yeah. It was it was a fact that it came from a Chinese bat. At that time, it's been debunked, right? But it came from a Chinese species. So when I heard that, I was like,
an animal species.
An animal species, but an animal species that was cooked in China and served to the people. At that time, that was a thought.
Yeah.
I'm now educated just as much as anyone else in COJ that will get mad at me for saying this, but at that time I didn't see a problem with it. Like now people are telling me, well, the issue is that you put a stigma onto ignorant Americans that would then lead to grandmas getting lit on fire and getting kicked in the face. But like I didn't think it was completely racist. I didn't think it was completely racist.
There's also that argument that like let's say there was the Spanish flu before, and there was other viruses and diseases named after the region,
after places. Yeah. But guess what? Spanish flu came from the U.S. Bet y'all didn't know that.
Well, you can't just say that, and I'm gonna need to see some facts, bro. You got screen share that, bro.
I mean, we don't got time to look it up right now, but we can do that. You can do that after.
You can research that on your own time. There's Wikipedia.
And y'all can leave it in the comments if he's right or if he's wrong. Let us know. But
and I'm not saying I don't like Trump. People, as soon as I say this argument, people are like, "You fucking Trump fucker." I don't like Trump at all. Would never vote for the guy, and I think he's racist as fuck. But it was that statement. I was like. And there was also another rapper. There was a few rappers that were like, what's racist about saying Chinese virus? But I guess that's an ignorant statement now. And I understand that now. But when I first was said, I was like, okay.
I'm on the same boat. I'm on the same boat as you. But until I saw the type of impact it had on society, until I saw like all these Asians getting assaulted, all this rise of racism, all this rise of xenophobia, then I'm like, damn, Trump fucked up.
Do you think that's because
it's coming a mile away?
Yeah.
Do you think that was directly corresponded to that statement?
It was directly correlated to that statement because
correlated,
you got to take into consideration because of that, people are quarantined. Because of that, people are in a pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people are angry, and they need an outlet to get out on.
Okay. All right, you convinced me. I got it.
So, and plus, as a leader, as our nation's leader, he needs to watch every single word that comes out of his mouth. Because, we're like, whether we like or not, like, whether the nation is his followers. He has a nation of followers. He has people that look up to him. He has people that hang on to every word that comes out of his mouth. That's why he needs to watch every word.
Anything that he says is potentially going to enable other people to do certain things that maybe he did intend to happen or maybe he didn't intend to happen.
Yeah.
And it's a big influence.
And it gives people a reason. It gives people an excuse.
Well, also people can't think for themselves either, but I digress.
And as a leader, he should know this. He should know what...
But yeah, what was I think I kind of digressed this whole... What were we talking about? What was the grandma got kicked in the face?
No, that's the next article. But this article, Sophia Chang, it was told by this white male to go back to Wuhan. She posted it on her Instagram. It went viral. He works for this one law firm, and that law firm is doing an investigation. But
attorneys are so racist. Attorneys are the most racist people I've ever met in my life. And I worked for attorneys.
Like in your experience?
In my experience, I've worked for hundreds of attorneys. I worked for attorney law firms. I look for marketing firms for attorneys. I contract for attorneys. I specialize in attorneys, and they are racist.
In their attorney defense, and I've been in the legal field for a while, for a couple years. I worked at a couple.
Fucking racist.
It depends on what type of attorney you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put them all in a box, but from my personal experience, a good amount. I've been on the phone trying to make a sale with someone, and them like saying these fucking Pakistanians got fucking. My last name is Enoch, right? So people think I'm Jewish, and a lot of attorneys are Jewish or like Ireland or shit like that. Not really Ireland, but like they're Jewish and Italian, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll say shit to me like these Pakistanians in this fucking state. Fucking, you come down here, you're gonna hate all these fucking
So,
And they'll be like, "You're a Jew, right? You fucking hate." And I'm trying to make the sale. I'm like, "Yeah, man, fuck those motherfuckers."
all right. So think about this.
Really?
All right. In their defense, think about this. Okay, if you're a doctor that diagnoses cancer.
Wait, Tree. I'm gonna let you finish. I want to let Tree's about to defend racism and attorneys.
I'm
Go ahead.
about to defend racism and attorneys. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
do it. Let's hear
Then
it.
y'all know.
All right.
So take a doctor that diagnoses cancer all day. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If all he's diagnosing is cancer, there's a higher chance of him diagnosing someone with cancer, regardless if they have it or not. So take an attorney a criminal attorney that works with minorities all day. So with all the minorities he's dealing with that's committing crimes, that's his 9 to 5 at least.
Oh, my bad. My bad. You guys don't hear that, right?
Damn, who's calling you Robin?
That's an app that I had. It's an app. Yeah, the alarm goes off every time someone says something really racist. I'll turn it off. My bad.
Oh no, keep it on. Keep it on. Nah.
Tree, don't enable him.
But if you working with criminals all day and a majority of them are minorities, wouldn't your views of the world be that minorities are racist, regardless of how high of an education you have? Because you're basing this off of your personal experience.
All right, I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
Oh boy.
So you're right, and you just compared me to those same racist lawyers, right?
Well,
because
not you.
Well, I'll own up to that because you said all right. So when you have an attorney. Mm-hmm. The one specific attorney that you were talking about was a defense attorney. So that's one thing. So not every attorney deals with criminals. Most attorneys actually do not deal with criminals.
There's civil and then there's criminal. There's a lot more civil than there is criminal.
Well, there's civil, there's criminal, there's divorce.
No. Divorce falls into civil. There's only two.
You're talking about law. I'm talking about what type of attorneys.
Which attorneys deal with law. All attorneys deal with law.
Two, but you're saying two different courts, civil and criminal, right?
Divorce falls under civil.
Okay, but I'm saying there's so many different types of attorneys who do not deal with any type of defense. So you can't just say, a criminal defense. So you can't pit a 50-50 because all of criminal is dealing with criminal. The civil is not dealing with criminal and not just one side. So they're dealing with divorce, they're dealing with real estate, they're dealing with mass torts, they're dealing with all these different types of things that separate themselves. So you can't pit it 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's a small percent, right? And even if we say that if you're talking about those defense attorneys developing a type of racism or discriminatory towards them. Because I hear this defense a lot. About cops. Why cops are racist and people defending on why they're racist because they're dealing with a bunch of people who are within a specific race, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that's what that's what happens.
That's what happens,
yeah.
Right? But we gotta be careful. Right. Yeah. So let me make it clear. I wouldn't be on this podcast if I thought you thought that was right.
Yeah.
So I know I'm kidding about the racism and all that stuff. But you gotta be careful when you speak like that because you're talking about if a cop is developing this racism thought, right? This categorizing different people that he arrests. Profiling. Yeah. He needs to look. It needs to be looked more in a deeper context than that, because systemic racism is indeed a thing.
It is.
And when you talk about that, you got to talk about which came first, the chicken or the egg. And even if a cop is rightful, right? If he has his statistics to profile someone, it does not change. It should not develop a change in their mind of whether or not they're racist or not, and it should not pit in their mind of how they should act towards different races or not. Because that same cop that's receiving statistics that all these races, right, quote unquote, 50, I don't know the statistic, but 50% of people he arrests in a day are black. He needs to look, that cop also sees two things: that all those people that he's arresting aren't just black, they're from the same area. So it's not just a racial thing, not purely. And then also you have to look at the side of what happened, what that same cop does outside of that neighborhood.
We could have a whole episode on this,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, we really can. But I think it's really important that because what you said is something that a lot of, I know you're not racist, but it's an argument used by a lot of people on the other side. So it's very important. Your words are important. You know?
Yeah.
You can't give an explanation of why they do that without explaining why that still is wrong.
Yeah,
And even
stating
if
the
you
argument.
do, like, they're gonna get offended.
I'm stating the argument. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm stating that it is an argument, and it is something that happens. It is your personal experience that.
But look at this, right?
And that's why there's police reform. That's why everything has to change.
Everything does have to change. Everything does have to change.
And not just with the police, not just, but it needs to go into attorneys and with judges too. Because with judges, how many minority criminals do you think they convict a day? And how do you think that affects their judgment when the next minority comes, making them think, oh, he's a minority, he's from this community, there's a higher chance of him committing that crime? Because here's some insider facts. I'm good to know. My criminal law professor, they say they base your bail on your race also. If you're Black and Latino, there's less of a chance that you would get bail than if you were white and Asian. And if you came from a higher class, because if you came from a lower class and you're a minority, there's a higher chance of you running. So there's a less chance of you.
What about for example, with the nice. What about, for example, with Southeast Asians, darker skinned Asians? Because I noticed, for example, there's quite a bit of a tendency that a lot of Southeast Asians end up living in poor neighborhoods just due to their financial status. So what about them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are darker. They are darker. They're living in a ghetto neighborhood. That also gets taken into consideration. How much money you make gets taken into consideration a lot. And your past history, the school you go to, the people you associate with, your job, they look at all of that and take into consideration. It's like a point system to determine whether you're going to run or not. So when it comes down to it, when it comes to how the system works, race is a major factor. Class is a major factor on how hard your sentence is.
But that's not a defense for, because
it's not a defense, but it's how shit is.
The original but you brought it to as a defense. The original statement was a lot of attorneys are racist, and your defense, and I clarified before you even started speaking. Trees about the defense why attorneys are racist.
Yeah,
that should not be the defense, because it goes deeper than that. You cannot, because if you defend an attorney for being racist because of that, then you contribute to the continuation of racism in attorneys. You contribute to the racism in police officers.
And I'm stating that it's not right, and there needs to be reform throughout the whole judicial system, throughout the whole the entire system.
Or I can agree with that.
Change. Shit needs to. Man, legal system do better. Let us know what you think about this article and our opinions in the comments. And for more daily viral news, hit that subscribe button and that bell to get notifications of when our next one comes on. This was TBG Spills the Tea, coming at you daily with viral news. Catch us on the next one.